People talk about beginnings, talk about dreams, talk about hard work, talk about making it, talk about surviving. But nobody really talks about after the win, after the loss, after the thing you spent years reaching. Nobody talks about what happens when life keeps going and you still have to wake up. And honestly, that part surprised me, 'cause that's where the real question started. Nobody told me achievement would feel this quiet. Nobody told me healing would feel this ordinary. Nobody told me you can survive something and still not know what comes next. And honestly, I expected fireworks, expected certainty, expected arrival. Instead, life just kept asking, okay, what now? That realization felt stranger than disappointment. People celebrate outcomes, nobody celebrates adjustment. Nobody celebrates continuing, nobody celebrates waking up after the big moment and learning how to live again. 'Cause honestly, there's a loneliness inside maintenance. People don't mention the truth sat heavy, 'cause eventually you realize most of life happens after the thing you thought would change everything. The part nobody talks about, that's where I got lost. Not in failure, not in pain, but in after. The part nobody talks about, when nobody claps, nobody notices, nobody explains. And I finally understood, life don't end at milestones. Sometimes that's where the real work starts, and everything I thought was the destination turned out to be the doorway. Nobody talks about outgrowing dreams. Nobody talks about missing old versions of yourself. Nobody talks about getting what you wanted and needing time to recognize it. 'Cause honestly, I thought growth would feel obvious, but most days it just felt unfamiliar. That realization stayed. And somebody asked, what if this isn't missing? What if this is living? And honestly, I hated that question, 'cause suddenly I realized I kept expecting life to announce itself, when maybe it already had. The thought changed something, 'cause maybe ordinary was never the enemy. Maybe I just forgot to notice it. 'Cause maybe the hardest chapter ain't getting there. Maybe it's learning how to stay. The part nobody talks about, and I thought that meant I failed. The part nobody talks about, but maybe I finally arrived, 'cause I finally understood. There's a difference between reaching something and learning how to belong there. And everything I kept calling emptiness still deserved patience. So I started smaller, stopped asking what's next, started asking what's here actually, what feels alive actually, what matters now. And honestly, those questions felt less impressive, but more true. Now I still dream, still move, still want more, but differently. 'Cause I know now I don't wanna become a man who spends his whole life arriving and never inhabiting what he reached. And if life keeps unfolding, found enough of myself left to notice that lesson cost years. If younger me asked what happened, I'd say nothing dramatic. We just learned the hardest parts usually begin after everyone stops watching. 'Cause eventually you realize most of life happens after the thing you thought would change everything. The part nobody talks about, that's where I got lost. Not in failure, not in pain, but in after. The part nobody talks about, when nobody claps, nobody notices, nobody explains. And I finally understood life don't end at milestones. Sometimes that's where the real work starts, and everything I thought was the destination turned out to be the doorway. Nobody talks about outgrowing dreams. Nobody talks about missing old versions of yourself. Nobody talks about getting what you wanted and needing time to recognize it. 'Cause honestly, I thought growth would feel obvious, but most days it just felt unfamiliar. That realization stayed. You don't become lost because the moment passed. You don't become ungrateful because life stayed ordinary. You don't become broken because achievements stayed quiet. You become responsible for continuing the part nobody talks about. And if tomorrow asks what changed, I'll say I stopped treating milestones like endings. Stop believing arrival meant completion. Stopped acting like ordinary wasn't meaningful, and finally learned the part nobody talks about might actually be the part that matters most. Funny thing about life, sometimes the chapter you thought was filler was the story the whole time.